Hey everybody, here we are with Opendoor Technology, and I want to do a quick weekend update about Opendoor because a lot of people are wondering why are we falling and if we're going to keep falling or not. Are we going to go lower to $8 or $8.50 or hold $9? So I'm going to do a quick update on the chart and show you some news articles real fast. All right, here we go. So based on what I read, Opendoor and Lennar are pretty well connected. They're also partners with each other. And since Lennar had its earnings recently and it didn't do too well, it missed earnings and it missed revenue. So that's pretty much why Opendoor has been falling, for the past 2 days. So if I had to rate based on percentage, it's a possibility that we could go down before we go up. But, if people missed buying Opendoor at a lower cost, could be an opportunity for you to jump in. And also, if you want to buy more shares, it could be an opportunity as well. But it's not guaranteed that we're going to keep going down. But based on what I saw from Lennar earnings, we could come down a little bit more, maybe. So it looks like the support, we could go down to maybe 875 or 850 if we keep going down. 850 to 875 area, anywhere in the $8 area. I don't know, but right now I have 850 to 875 locked in as a support. Here's a big green candlestick that we had when we pumped up. Here's a big green candlestick that we had when we pumped up. And we kind of don't want to go below this green candlestick right here. And the low for the green candlestick is around 739, 750. So we definitely don't want to go to the $7 area. And we definitely don't want to break that support at 750, 739. But so far, we've been consolidating pretty well between 875 and the $10 area. So if we can keep consolidating in that area until we get some good news or some good data, that's what I'm looking for, more so than creating a downtrend because of Lennar earnings. Just consolidate in this area, that'd be great. And then we get some good news and we start to go up and break that $10 again. So either one of the two, could consolidate in this area, or we could come down a little bit, maybe to the $8 range. So here's Lennar. They had their earnings, and you see the big drop right here. It went from 132 all the way down to like 127, 125 because of their earnings. It missed. It wasn't good at all. And their earnings was supposed to show that Lennar is doing well, and people are getting back into the housing market, but it didn't show that. It showed slowed growth, and people aren't buying houses right now. That's what it showed. And we didn't want to see that. That's not good news for Lennar or D.R. Horton or Opendoor. And especially, Opendoor is partnered with Lennar as well. So that's why I came down. But, Warren Buffett just bought a lot of shares of Lennar earlier this year. So, that's something to be optimistic about, that Warren Buffett is buying shares. Obviously, they know something that maybe we don't know. Or he's just buying shares to get in early. Warren Buffett bought Lennar right around this area right here when it's consolidating. That's why I said a good time to buy shares is when the stock is consolidating, not the pump right here. This is a big pump right here. Now, you buy shares in the beginning of a pump, it's not bad. Right around here, you bought some shares, that's good. But when the stock is consolidating like this, that's when a lot of big guys are buying in, big institutions are buying in right around this consolidation area. And this is where Warren Buffett bought, right around here. He bought Lennar around the $100 area, the low $100. And it went up to 142. But the thing about it, it started to come down because this is pre-earnings. People thought that Lennar earnings wasn't going to be good. So it started selling right around here. And then the earnings wasn't good. And then it's starting to, sell off. A big red bar right here show a lot of selling, a lot of volume, but a lot of selling. So if you want to look at Lennar's chart and compare it to Opendoor, Lennar could come down a little bit more, maybe down to the 120 area, low 120, high 117 or 118 or 119. That could possibly bring Opendoor down to the $8 range, or hopefully not the $7 range. I really don't see this going down to the $6 area because we do have a lot of good news on the horizon, but it's not coming just yet. We don't know when it's going to come, but it will come eventually, the good news. And we have more good news than bad news because the housing market is already at the bottom. It can't go any further pretty much. Only thing that's happening is that we have to wait for it to get better. It can't go down further, but it's kind of just sitting there. We need it to go up. So that means we're going to have to wait for the housing market to get better, like a spark, showing that, housing market is doing better now, time to go up. So it's kind of like we're pretty much early. We're buying in these housing stocks early because it actually isn't time for it to go up yet based on Lennar earnings. But, Opendoor is going up because of excitement. A new CEO, CFO, a lot of shakeup in the company. And it's at a low price, under $10 at a low price. And the possibility of going higher is there, $33, $40. So it's still a good price where we're at. $7, between $7 and $9 is still a good price if it goes lower. And I'm just basing that on Lennar earnings if it goes lower. Lennar earnings wasn't good, so it's possibly getting dragged on Opendoor. Possibly. Don't mean it's going to happen, but there's a chance for Opendoor to maybe go down $1 or $2. Hopefully not. And as I said earlier, yes, Lennar and Opendoor have partnered since 2016 to offer a home trade-in program. The way it works is it allows customers to sell their current home in Opendoor to help finance the purchase of a new Lennar home in a single, seamless transaction. This partnership provides a solution for buyers needing to sell an existing home, offering a cash offer from Opendoor or a referral to Opendoor partner agent to ease the transition into a new Lennar resident. So they pretty much go hand in hand based on that. You can sell a house on Opendoor, get a cash offer, use that cash offer to buy a Lennar home. So if Lennar earnings is not good, see what I'm saying? It can bring down Opendoor. But that also means when Lennar does good, Opendoor is going to do good, right? So it goes hand in hand. And what happened with Lennar, with Warren Buffett? This news right here. Warren Buffett, Berkshire Hathaway has made a significant investment in home building stocks, signaling confidence in the long-term prospect of the U.S. housing market. See, there you go again. The word long-term. So he's getting in early because he see something good long-term for the housing market. He's buying in early. It said in mid-2025, Berkshire Hathaway opened a position in several leading home builders. Lennar in the first half of 2025 purchased 7 million shares of Lennar. Costed him $800 million, right? That's a lot. And this is what I was saying earlier. Lennar's Q3 2025 EPS revenue missed forecasts. The stock price dropped 4%. The housing market remains challenged by high mortgage rates. But, that's going to come down soon, so we don't have to worry about that too much. Lennar's strategic focus includes technology-driven efficiencies. The company ended the quarter with $1.4 billion in cash. It says the reason why Lennar didn't do good in their earnings was largely influenced by elevated mortgage rates and constrained supply. And here's the financial highlights. Revenue, $8.8 billion. They're expecting $8.97 billion. Earnings, $2. Missing the forecast of 2.10. Gross margin 17.5%, showing a reduction from previous quarters, and net margin 9.2%. Cash position $1.4 billion with total liquidity at $5.1 billion. So yeah, everything can turn around once the mortgage rates come down some more and home buyers start to buy again. And that's why I was saying Warren Buffett is probably buying in early Lennar because right now is not the time for the housing market to get back, but it will come soon. So he's buying in early. It says that window could begin this fall, depending on where prospective buyers are looking and if sellers are willing to relent on getting their dream price. So there you go. Opendoor and Lennar kind of connected. We already knew that already. These both housing stocks because they're both partnered. So Lennar could come down to the 118 or the low 120s. And if that happens, Opendoor could also come down between 7 and 8. So that's the possibility right there. Just a recap. It could come down to those prices, but if we're able to consolidate and hold, we want to hold that 875 low. That would be good. $875 to $9 area. So we don't know what's going to happen because even if the housing market is looking bad and drags down Lennar, Opendoor could sustain based on what kind of news Opendoor is releasing. But hopefully this answers the question on why Opendoor is not really going up too much right now, why we're kind of in a downtrend. Because we're kind of in a downtrend right now, slight downtrend. Our high right here was at 1050, and then our last high was at 1028, So we're getting, lower highs and lower lows at the moment on the daily chart. So Monday we'll see if we can hold tight, consolidate in this area, or maybe continue to come down a little bit. We'll see what happens. But that's why, we're going down a little bit because Lennar is earning. Pretty much that's it. It has nothing to do with Opendoor on how the company is handling itself. It's just that Lennar's earnings wasn't that great. So people are taking this chance to take profit. Even though in the future, these housing stocks will have to come up at some point. Because eventually people will want to buy houses again when the price is right. All right, everybody, have a great weekend and enjoy. Take care.